some concerns about it, and so I have told other people that, so I probably could have easily have told Celeste.
You told her, what could you have easily told her?
That I felt bad about seeing her husband, because we were friends, and having somebody, a wife, talk to me that I may have been misconstruing something. I don't know.
Regardless of whether she was unhappy with it or not, did you tell her that while you were a young student in Paris, Maud taught you about good sex?
Probably did.
I'm going to get back to my question.
Okay.
Did you tell her that on the evening before you were to leave Paris, Maud brought in another woman and the two women had sex with you?
I would say no. The last portion, up to the last portion, I would go in, she brought in a lot of her friends for a party. And I would probably talk about some kind of a party like that, and which she did.
Okay. Did you tell her that when you got back to the United
Yes.
States you became concerned because you had a runny penis?
That is correct.
Okay. And did you tell her that you called a doctor and were examined and the doctor told you that you had been overusing your penis?
That is correct.
Did you think that, strike that.
But I didn't say penis anything.
Did you say member?
I didn't use any words.
What did you use to describe your...
I went to a urologist.
They're not asking what happened. She wants to know, you have to listen to the question. She wants to know what you said to Celeste Bruno, not what happened. Have you been hearing her?
I did talk to Celeste about that Maud had brought a bunch of her friends in for a going away party. I would have left it like that.
But you told her when you got back to the United States you were concerned because you had...
There was a strain. That's what I would say. I would not say...
You would say what?
I would say that I had a strain.
A strain.
A strain. And I had to go to a urologist and to be checked.
And did you tell her that the doctor told you that you really hadn't contracted any sort of a sexually transmitted disease?
There was no disease.
But why do you think she wanted to know this?
Because she would ask questions about my trips constantly.
Do you have an aversion to fat women?
This goes back to what another thing that we talked about. There's a certain amount. I said I got drunk one night and wound up with a very stout woman. And I've had an aversion since. She goes a little bit further, or you go a little bit further, or somebody goes a little bit further and says these things. I'm sorry, you have to gasp.
I can't make this stuff up, sir.
I don't think you are. I think you're repeating it, and I'm trying to tell you, part of the story is correct. It goes on.
So you did talk to her about waking up with a very fat woman and having an aversion to fat women's sex.
I talked to her about being at the...
You were in New England.
Let me finish this question. Let me finish.
You were in New England then. You were a cargo pilot.
That's correct.
England. Or was it New England?
New England.
New England.
New England.
Cargo pilot.
We were flying transports.
You'd gotten drunk.
Yes.
Passed out.
Almost.
Woke up to find the not so lovely lady in a superior position.
She was there.
She was on top.
Some things that may be a little... See, the trouble here is the little fine points at the last are changed just an iota.
Were you in bed with the lady?
No.
Where were you?
We were in this room together.
But you told Celeste about it.
I told Celeste.
Why did you think she wanted to hear about it?
She was always asking me about my travels and about the time, and somehow in a year and a half, these things came, in there. Were they so horrible? No.
Did you ever tell her she was cute?
Probably.
Why?
Because she was.
I think that's an appropriate thing to say to an employee who is your subordinate, works at your pleasure?
I think so.
Did you make comments about her rear end? Did you say,
no, I don't think so.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
Forgive my accent.
Que Fondia.
La
Que
Fondia.
Fondia.
La Fondia. Now I got to say.
What does that
we
mean,
would
by
speak
the way?
Spanish. That's rear end.
Rear end.
Yeah.
Did you comment about
I
it, Que
would,
Fondia?
I would speak to her in Spanish because she loved to speak in Spanish. She spoke better Spanish than I did, and we would kid about her Fondia.
Why do you think that she wanted you to kid her about her rear end?
I'm going to repeat one thing. She would go along with all these jokes. Never once did she ever say, don't say those things. Do not do those things. And that is out of bounds. She is a 30-some-year-old woman that this is common. She just said it right in here. I've heard it all my life. And I've never heard it in a derogatory way. I've never heard it in a way that's salacious. And that's what you're trying to make out of some things that were never salacious. And there was a big distinction there. That was never done in that manner.
Did you tell her, I want to slap your behind?
Am I capable of it? Yes. Do I remember the specific term? No.
You don't deny it.
I told you I do not remember the specific saying it, but there would be something, maybe in an affectionate, cute way, try to say it. I'm going to repeat one thing. Everything I said, and this was in a year and a half, and my God, everything here has been tabulated, crunched into a period that looks like it all happened in about 10 minutes. No, it happened over a year and a half.
Okay, did you tell Debbie Fredericks that you wanted to apologize for anything you might or might not have done to Ms. Bruno?
I sure did. In fact, I wrote a letter. I never sent it to her. But I wrote a letter that said, if I ever said anything to you or ever did anything to you that hurt you, I'm apologizing, and I would never do that in a million years.
You still have the letter?
Yes, I do.
Does your attorney have it?
It's available to him if he wants it.
And you said you never sent it to her, though?
I never sent it. It was advised, you know, I think I probably asked the county attorney or somebody that, you know, that and they would say they would recommend it, and I didn't do it.
Did you tell Jana Johnson Willie to...
Who?
Jana Willie, former administrator's wife,
Yeah, okay, go ahead.
that did you tell her that you were sorry for what had happened to Miss Bruno?
Oh, yes, I told everybody that.